go ahead and get started. As you've heard, this is Justin Putz, and as I'm sure most of you know, this is my oldest son. Justin's a 2005 EDCO grad, went to Wartburg College in Waverly, is now the activities director and head football coach at Independence High School. The rest I'll let him tell you. So, Justin.
I thank you guys, for listening here. Miss Ayler said I could talk about sports, anything I want, and so I kind of chose the topic here of lessons that I've learned in sports. All right, and kind of try to give you a specific example of maybe when or where I learned that lesson. All right, and then how I use that, that's benefited me and my life beyond sports. All right, so if I can get you thinking about one thing, as you have a chance to be involved, okay, you're going to have a tremendous amount of things that are going to be useful for you throughout your life, okay? And so if you're on that fence of play or don't play, always lean towards playing. Again, if you guys have questions, feel free to stop me. Don't wait till the end. If you guys have a question about anything that comes up, go ahead and ask, and we'll go from there. I just want to talk about what you guys want to hear a little bit. I'll start a little bit when I was active in high school. I played football all 4 years. I played basketball for 4 years, golf 4 years, baseball 5 years, large group speech. I did improv for 4 years, and I did individual speech for 2 years. I did individual improv, did some after dinner speaking. I was involved in 2 plays, one spring play, one fall play, and NHS throughout my time. After high school, activities have really been, a lot of what I do, what I've been interested in. Went on to Wartburg, played baseball. Was part of 3 Iowa Conference championship teams, part of 2 Iowa Conference tournament championship teams. Got a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. I had a great experience. Since then, I've been involved in coaching a lot of things, working with a lot of students with a lot of different abilities, a lot of different interests, and I've coached everything from junior high track, varsity baseball, varsity girls basketball, varsity football. Even did a year with high school track. As I said, currently I coach football in 7-12, activity director at Independence. Again, at the top of this age, lessons learned from activities. All right, very first one, it's not all about you. All right, and I go back to, I think the time that this really, hit me the most, and you probably can't see my picture here, I apologize for that, when I was in college. I was playing baseball, and the best player I've ever played with, his name is Mike Johnson from West Des Moines. And he's one heck of a third baseman. I played a little first base in college. It was about to be my senior year, and the best third baseman I've really ever seen tore his ulnar collateral ligament in his elbow. He could not throw, so he still could hit. So then I want to take a guess what position he then played that year.
First base.
First base, yes. He played first base. All right, and as a senior in college, ready to that be your spot. All right, to have somebody still a great friend of mine come and take that position. You really learn it's not all about you. I put it up here, the stats. Michael Lee hit it on the team, batted .460. I batted .333, all right? So I would be lying to you if I said, hey, I'm a better player than Mike. I should be out there instead of Mike, all right? Wasn't the case. It's plain for obvious. Outstanding baseball player. There's other things, other ways I could help. And I pinch hit. I did move, played a little third base. Since he couldn't throw, I played a lot in the late innings after he batted his last time. And so, this is, one of the things I've been asked in interviews, okay, and kind of how it translates to where I'm at. I've had people ask, all right, what do you do when administration makes a decision you don't like? All right, and it goes back to, it's not all about you, okay? It's about what's good for, the culture, what's good for the school, what's good for where you're working, what's good for the team, all right? And I learned, back in college playing baseball that sometimes what's best for you is not what's best for the team. All right, so that's lesson one would be, it's not all about you. Lesson two, everybody wants results, but you must be focused on the process. All right? I tell my football guys every single week, everybody wants to win on Friday nights. I've never coached a team. I've never seen a team say, hey, we'll go ahead and lose, that's fine. Okay, everybody wants it on Friday night. That's the easy part. But do you want it that bad on Tuesday at practice? Right? It's 85 degrees. All right, you've been hitting each other, just you and your same people doing the same drills for 2 months? Do you want it then? Do you want it at 6:30 in the morning in November, completely out of season? You want to win then, okay? And I learned that. I learned that in high school. All right. You know what? Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants that result. And what are you going to do to go get that result? And that's the same thing in the classroom. You want to do well on the test. Did you pay attention in class? Did you study? Did you do all the little things on the test you could have done? All right. Everybody wants to have. We talk about at Independence. We want to have the best activities department. What are we doing? What are we doing to fix it? What are we doing to get us where we want to be? And so you got to make sure you understand that everybody wants results, but what kind of process are you going to do, all right, to get the results? Lesson 3, control what you can control, all right? And I talk to the guys a lot about effort and attitude. You can always control your effort. You can always give the best you can, no matter what you're doing, whether that be FBLA, whether that be football, whether that be baseball, whether that be in the classroom. You can always control how hard you're trying. All right, and then your attitude. Have a good attitude. Have an attitude that you want to be there. Have an attitude that you're willing to, know where you want to be, what those results are. And I always talk about, in sports, practice like it's day one. On day one, everybody's excited. Right? Everyone's happy to be there. Everyone's fresh. It's a new sport. People are fired up, ready to go. But on day 10, can you practice like it's day one? All right, on day 35, after you just lost a game on Tuesday night and you're practicing it Wednesday morning at 6 o'clock, can you practice like it's day one? Can you have day one enthusiasm, day one effort, day one attitude? On day one, there's no starters yet. Everyone's happy with their role. On day one, everybody thinks it's going to be a great year. Right, can you have that attitude, that effort on day 10, day 30, the last practice of the year? Can you have what you have on day one? Be ready for your opportunity. It kind of builds off a little bit of some of the first ones. If you have a great attitude and you have great effort and you understand it's not all about you, you're going to be better prepared to take control of your opportunity. All right? I've seen people, and I go a lot back to college, where you have people who came and they were all state in high school. Right? We had one kid, he was the elite all-state from Urbandale. Pitcher, ended up getting drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals, made it all the way up to AA. His freshman year, just wasn't ready to take control of his opportunity. He's used to things being handed to him a little bit. He wasn't used to how he had to do things at the next level, and he wasn't ready. When he got his opportunities, he just didn't take advantage. He was all over the place. I think we're at the Metrodome. I think he threw about 3 balls off the back screen, which is tough to do at an MLB field. It's a long ways, and he just wasn't ready to go. And so, and in contrast to that, I had a teammate, outstanding pitcher from the Dubuque area, and he kept telling coach his freshman year, "Hey, I'm a starter. I'm a starter." Well, in a good program, that's not always. He might be a starter, but not yet. He was a closer. I always said, "Hey, I want to start. I can go more than 1 inning. I can go more than 1 inning." And the only time he went more than 1 inning all year was the game to go to the College World Series. He came in for a close. He blew the save. And we're supposed to have 1-run lead in the bottom of the 9th. He blew that. He then pitched 8 more scoreless innings to win the game in 17 innings. And the next year, he was a starter. He had a great attitude. He did what he had to do, but he prepared himself. When he got a chance to go out and show he could do more than 1 inning, he did. Aaron Soigman, his name. He's from Dubuque Waller. Outstanding pitcher. I don't think he lost a game his last 3 years of college. Number 5, all right? Handling adversity. Has anybody in here play baseball? Did you bat 1,000 this year?
No.
No? What'd you bat?
Like 300 something.
300. So 7 out of 10 times at bat, you didn't get a hit. All right? You got to be able to handle that. You got to be able to handle, going to the free throw line and understanding you're not going to make 100% of them. Or get on the wrestling match, right, knowing that you're probably not going to win. At Independence right now, we have 5 kids down in the state tournament. We got a couple of kids ranked pretty high in the state, and we challenge them with a pretty good schedule. They go up to a dual tournament, and this team from Minnesota comes down, from Cass in Minnesota, and they're national ranked. And we got fifth on Wednesday at state duels. So 5th in Class 2A, and we lost to them in a dual meet 77-0. Didn't win a match. All right? And how are they going to handle that? Okay, they're still going to have confidence in your abilities, Are you going to kind of, okay, hey, I got exposed a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and fix it, all right? And so, everybody's going to fail at something. You're going to lose games, you're going to get out, you're going to have a test not go your way, you're going to have a decision you make someday at work that people don't like. How are you going to handle it? Right? Mistakes will happen. I think, truly, I always think true intelligence is not people who make mistakes, it's people who learn from mistakes. All right? If you make the same one over and over, all right, and how you handle things really tells me something a lot about you. I think I learned the most about handling adversity, when I went to college. I chose to go to Wartburg a lot because we won a lot. I wanted to be part of a program that won. We won, by my time in college, we won 13 straight Iowa Conference regular season championships. My senior year, we did not win the Iowa Conference championship regular season. So that was the first time in 13 years Wartburg hadn't won it. All right? Believe it or not, we weren't very happy about that. We weren't very happy about being the class that, the streak ended with, or being part of that team. And so, there's a little bit of adversity there. And, a couple of seniors on the team got together and said, you know what? There's still a lot of season to play for, because in college, if you win the conference tournament, you get to go to the NCAA tournament. And so, we decided, you know what? Regular season's over, nothing we can do about it. But so what? We can still control our destiny. And we went out and won the Iowa Conference tournament. All right, and it wasn't easy that day. We came out and flat out played terrible in the second round. Lost to Luther, and I hate saying that. I hate Luther. All right, I hate Luther. I hate losing in general, okay? And so, flat out, we lost. And we had to win 3 games on the last day of the tournament, 3 9-inning ball games, after already playing 3 to go on. We ended up doing it. I have video, because they were beating Luther, which is nice.
You're not up on the screen.
I'm not up. We got the tournament. About 12-7. I've been playing baseball for about 12 hours. And the guy on the mound here, don't need to watch it all, but the guy on the mound was actually the guy who lost game 2. Came out was terrible. He gave up, at a rain delay, he gave up 6 runs in 2 innings. Took him out, and a day later, he's back on the mound. He didn't sulk about it. Everybody got behind him, handled the and said, I'm going to have another shot. And so he pitched the last 3 innings of that ball game, closed it down, because he's ready for another opportunity, all right, and because, he understands that, hey, failure is part of the game. It's part of life. How are you going to do it? He's going to come out, he's going to keep working hard, and get yourself ready for the next time. I just did an outstanding job. I ask every time I interview a coach, I ask them, all right, I want you to tell me about a situation in which things didn't go your way and how you handle it. And if they don't have a good answer for that, I put them way in the bottom of my pile. All right, because I need to know that you've handled adversity. I need to know that you understand things don't always go your way, because I need to know that you can react when things don't go that way. I need to know that you've been in situations and you've had composure, that you've learned from it, that you've gotten better. Flat out, I've been asked that in 2 or 3 interviews that I've had in my career here and there. And you've got to be prepared to handle adversity. All right? It's a question I think more and more employers are asking. And again, it's why I go back to playing sports. You can use that as an example. A lot of people have been involved in stuff and understand, yes, that's a great avenue to learn to handle adversity. Leadership. Now, I learned a ton about leadership, by being on teams that had great leaders. Being on teams that didn't have good leaders. All right? And there's a few things I think leadership absolutely must have. And I tell my guys this all the time. Credibility. If you want to be a leader, you've got to be credible. I better see you there in the weight room at 6:30 in the morning. I better see you at 6:25, not 6:33. Okay? I better see you at practice. I better see you finishing the drill. I better see you putting up extra shots. All right? If you're not doing the small things, you don't have credibility. You can't tell anybody, all right, what to do, all right, they have credibility. You can't lead unless people buy into you. And they don't buy into you unless you do the little things. Unless you do things the way you're supposed to do them. All right, you have to be able to communicate. I've had people trying to be leaders, and they just couldn't say the right thing. They couldn't say the right thing at the right time. All right, it actually came out bad. I knew what they were trying to say, but they just couldn't do it. You know, and so when you communicate, it's got to be open. You got to be honest. You got to be respectful. All right, you're never going to be able to be a leader if you're not respectful to who you're trying to work with. It's not gonna happen. People aren't going to follow you if you're going to come up and you're going to say things the wrong way. All right, people aren't going to follow you if you're not credible. All right, make sure you understand that. Servant leadership. Now, servant leadership. Anybody have any idea what that term means? You know, it means lead by doing. Okay, you know, if you got all the basketballs out in the gym, okay, you know, a servant leader would help pick them up. Not gonna say, hey, freshman Brooke, grab all those balls. Okay, he's gonna help out. You know, a servant leader is somebody, you know, that is always there, always willing to do it. You're not passing it on, you're doing it yourself, because that's the way things are supposed to be done. Body language. You know, as a leader, you can't have bad body language. You can say the right things, okay, you can be credible, and then when you get to that adversity, if you have bad body language, all right, you're not a leader. Or if you are a leader, you're giving off that message of, guys, we're out of it. We can't get this done here. All right, I'm not feeling it today. Or, guys, we can't get the job done. All right, have body language. Understand what you're communicating with your body is so important. Incredibly important. And I'm looking for these things, and I'm going to do coaches. You know, I'm going to ask them to explain to me their leadership style. And if they don't go into detail about, you know, being credible, if they don't go into detail about being a servant leader and how they communicate, I'm not interested. All right? I'm not interested in saying somebody that says, you know, I'm in charge, I tell people how to do it, and they do it my way. Okay, I'm not interested in that. And, you know, I learned that, you know, my freshman year of college. I just came off a team that got number 4 in the nation at the College World Series, outstanding team. And the leaders in that team, they got it done. You know, they're never going to be outworked. No one's ever going to beat them there. Okay, and that's where, you know, I learned how important credibility is as leadership. You know, if you're looking for an employer someday or colleges for scholarship, people are looking for leaders. Okay, there's a crisis right now, I think, in quality leaders, and it can only be a leader, guys, if you do it the right way. You can't say you're a leader, you got to do things the right way. Be reflective. Okay, reflective means look in the mirror and think about why things are, and think about how you do things and if they got that way. All right, I say it's super important to look in the mirror when the results aren't what you want them. Okay, instead of saying excuses like, well, we're short, we're slow, we have no speed. Okay, look in the mirror and say, why is this? Okay, what's the deal? You know, what can I do to fix it? All right, and that's really where it's got to start. You got to be reflective and think about what can I do to fix it. I put it in cap locks, don't be the victim. You know, nothing drives me more nuts. I'll have some coaches that I've worked with in the past, not at independents, other schools, that got a million excuses. We can't do this because we don't have tradition. We can't do this because we're not very big. We can't do this because so-and-so doesn't have any parents at home. So don't be the victim, okay? Or they tried to score 100 points on us. You know, they got the 99, they ran it up. They kept stealing bases on us, all right? They were passing in the 4th quarter. Don't be the victim, fix it. Okay, start by looking in the mirror. Look in the mirror and see, all right, what am I doing did I want it on Tuesday night? Did I want it in the off season? All right, if you showed up at Friday night and only wanted it then, all right, sorry guys, you got to want it more. And I kind of learned this. I started coaching football at the Wise and Muskie team. I was an assistant football coach for Guy Derricks, outstanding coach. He's the head coach right now at Davenport North. And they had 1 win in the 3 years before we took over down there. All right, and we were god awful. All right, there's no doubt about it. First year we won 2 games. We got very lucky to win those 2 games. All right, we were probably the worst team in Class 2A. But we decided, what are we going to do to fix it? You know, we had to get more numbers. You know, we had to recruit kids. We had to go out and get to know kids. We had to get stronger, more athletic. We had to get these kids in the weight room. We had to come up with a strength plan to allow these kids to see the benefits of it. We had to go talk with other coaches about getting a school-wide program. We had to work with administration about starting a early bird morning PE class weight room program. And we had to go start doing 7-on-7s. We went to team camps. Then we kind of set out and said, okay, we made a year-long calendar of things we thought we needed to do to fix the situation. I got the Independence, it wasn't much different. They had one playoff appearance ever in school history. The last 2 years, we went to the playoffs back-to-back times. This year, 8-2, and probably only the second time. We've had 2 of the 3 winning seasons since 1990 have come in our time there. And again, following the same blueprint of, how can we be successful? What do we have to do? All right. I probably should go back. Being reflective, though, it's something that if you have a job someday, okay, and you want to move up in the ranks, or you want to evaluate how you're doing, you've always got to be reflective. Taking criticism in class, be reflective on, am I doing the things I need to do? When you get into college or whatever you want to do next year, do the things that you need to do. And if you don't have the results you want, why is that? Look for a reason. All right. Success is not an accident. Number 8, you don't know it all. Okay? That's a hard one, I think, for young people to learn. Even myself, I come out of college, I'm thinking, I played college baseball, I know how, I can coach the sport, no problem. Okay? But you don't know it all. You always need to be learning, growing, and trying to get better. All right? Bottom line. And learn from others who are at levels you want to be at. And so I always say, sustained success is not accidental. People that have had success year in, year out, this year, there's a reason why they've had success. It's not because it's an accident. All right? And then go and try to figure out, why are they successful? I spent a lot of time talking to coaches who won a lot more games than I have. I spent a lot of time talking to players who hit the ball a lot better than I could, and always try to grow and try to learn. No matter what you're doing, you're not good enough at it. All right? That's one of those things where, whether it's in a classroom, whether it's at the job, whether it's as a leader, whether it's as a coach, whatever it is, there's someone out there that can help you. And don't think you know it all. Right? Go and try to learn it and try to think, okay, how are they having successful? And one of the things that I've learned in that is, when I've been to Independence, our wrestling program's outstanding. And so is our band program. Now that has nothing to do with football, but I spent a lot of time talking to our band director and our wrestling coach about, how did you build a program? How did you guys get so much support over 20 years? How do you have such great numbers? What have you done? And what I found out is they just work harder than everybody else. They just outwork people. And so, there's always similar traits to success. I got some closing thoughts here. Some kind of random stuff that I've been talking about sports I feel like mentioning. I call these traits of successful teams, players and people. If you guys want to have a good team, if you guys are still in high school going for sports, your best player has to be a hardest worker. If he's not, you're never going to be that good. You might win some games, but you won't do what you want to do unless your best player is your hardest worker. Flat out has to happen. If you think you're the best player, you want to be the best player. To have a special team, you flat out have to be your hardest worker. No doubt about it. I have to be persistent and consistent. I've got to know every single day as a coach what I'm getting from you. I can't have, oh, hey, I'm working hard today, I'm feeling good. I call it the roller coaster. Now, I'm not feeling good, I'm going to go through the motions. Oh, but now we just won a game, now I'm feeling good. You got to be consistent and persistent. You got to bring the same level of intensity every single day. Quality leaders, all right? You got to have quality leaders. Again, it goes back to credibility and how you communicate. All right, it's one thing to say we have no leadership. All right, here, coaches, that's probably my number one complaint with coaches, we have no leadership. I'll ask them, what are you doing to fix that? How are you helping them become better leaders? But understand what it takes to be a good leader. Be active, play multiple sports, and do other activities. I don't know how many times, my speech background from high school helped me out, in a job interview, anywhere else. Get out and play sport. I want my football guys being active in the winter. I want to lift their weights, but I want them wrestling. I want them playing basketball. I was talking to a college softball coach last month, and she told me, if you say, I'm going to go play softball for you, she'll say, Awesome, you play basketball. What other sport do you play? And they'll tell her. She'll ask, what's your worst sport? And they'll tell her. And she'll go out and watch you play that sport. She wants to see how you are when you're not the superstar. She wants to see how you act when it's kind of a struggle. She wants to see what kind of teammate you are. She wants to see how you handle adversity. And so get out and do other things. You know, if you have any interest in playing college athletics, they're all looking for multi-sport athletes. They want you to have to become a teammate. They want you to struggle in something. All right, they want you to be active. I'll put the time in. You know, weight room. I can't say enough about it. I wish I would have lifted weights much harder when I was here. I wish I would have done it more often. I wish I had that nice new big weight room you guys had. But it's so important. Out of season work. I don't call it off season. We're not off. We're out of season. We're going to be getting after it, trying to get better every single day. You know, the film, classroom, you know, whatever it is, you know, make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know, I always say, if I can't trust you to get to class on time, I can't trust you to be where you're supposed to be on 3rd and 10. I can't. If you can't do a small thing like get to class, I have a hard time thinking you're going to be able to read 4 to 5 different things and be exactly where I need you to be. I can't count on you to be there at 10:40. I probably can't count on you to be there at 8:15 either at night, on Friday night when everybody wants it. Be coachable. Again, it's not all about you, okay? And you don't know everything, right? You know, coaches put in a lot of time. You know, coaches have been around a long time. Coaches know a lot, you know? And ultimately, coaches are only out there to help you. They're only out there because they like sports and they like working with athletes. All right, give them a chance to help you out. Be coachable. A kid that's not coachable, all right, can ruin a team as fast as anything. Understand your role in the school and in the community. Okay, you guys, especially if you get the varsity athletes, there's elementary kids that think you guys are the coolest people ever. You know, there might not be a time where you have a greater chance to impact, you know, a younger kid than when you're a high school athlete. You know, I challenge all of my seniors who have an open period to be mentors. I say, guys, you can get a lot out of it. It's going to look great in your transcripts, but you have a chance to actually, you know, be a role model and important figure for a kid. So don't ever, you know, lose track of how valuable your role is for the community right now and for your school district. And have pride. You know, have pride in being a Viking. Have pride in what you do. Anything you're going to do, do it well. Do it right. Do things the way they're supposed to be done. And have a lot of pride. That's kind of the end of mine. Anybody have any questions? Yes.
How is the commitment of...
I'm sorry, presenter, but that's the bell. I hope you got through all your material, and I just want to give you a simple thank you for coming and sharing all your stories with us today. Students, thank you, presenter, and see you guys class.
Stay put here. Let's hear the question, Minnie.
Presenter, when you're finished, could you come down to the office and have a meeting for you?
How's the commitment at the college level different than commitment to a sport at the high school level?
At the next level, you know, it's just different because it's you're either going to do it or you're not going to be part of the team. You know, I kind of talk about like the standard is the standard. Like the way we do it, that's the only way to do it. There's no other way to do it. You know, you got coaches who that's how they make their living. You know, coaching. You have everybody on the team was a great athlete. Every single one. You know, every single one of them was all-state. Every single one of them hit 10 home runs in high school. We'd have freshmen come in saying, I batted 500. Join the club. You know, now you got to get after it. Okay, now we got to get better. You know, you go from you feel like you know it all in high school as a senior, and then you're an idiot freshman again in college because you don't know it all. I mean, it's just it's up a notch, at least. Any other question? All right, thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it.